Hi, this is Norse. This is a weekly watch list. It's Monday, the 27th of March. To begin with, this watch list will be containing 6 or 7 pairs. So keep that in mind. This is a big watch list because I see a lot of potential moves on a lot of currencies this week or the weeks to come. So I think you need to watch this video at least a few times and set alerts and just keep your notebook ready. I will try to keep it as short and straight to the point as I possibly can. So let's get on with it. This is AUD CAD on the 4-hour chart. We have a third touch of a trend line happening here. Trend line got respected. And now you can already probably guess what my trade plan on this pair is. And yes, it is a stage 2 sell right here. So I'm following the steps that I always do on any pair. I am not short on this pair just yet because I was buying GBP AUD and selling AUD Swiss, so I already had enough AUD short exposure at the moment, and I didn't have break-even stops, so I couldn't add any more trades to my portfolio without increasing my overall risk. So now I'm waiting for a stage 2 sell using the 618 as always. My target will be the lower channel projection itself. If we break this parallel, I will look to short the retest or wait for the market to print like we saw in AUD Swiss, we have a low right here. So if we bounce and then we bounce from this potential third touch itself, I will look to short the upper channel trend line. So as price develops, I will update my trade plans, but I will keep you guys informed. But just keep that in mind. The market is always changing, but the steps never change. Let's go to AUD Swiss. I'm short on this pair. I have removed my take profit. My original take profit was 74.80, but now that I see that the market has expanded its range, it's starting to move better and easier. And since I had a bad start to the year, I had a lot of break-even weeks. Just in February alone, I made 37 pips. Yes, 37. That's insane. I can't pay anything with that. So now that I'm seeing bigger moves, I'm just using bigger targets, to be honest, because on the weekly chart on AUD Swiss, this is a big bearish engulfing. That's a big sign that the bears now may be in control on this bear. So that's why I'm changing my take profit target on this. Let's see. I got a very nice trade plan on AUD, Euro AUD. We have the third touch of a trend line coming in here. So we have a speculative stage 1 using the TNR, just the TNR itself. If you go down to the 4-hour, you can see this high right here. So my case for entry in this case will be that I have this trend line right here. I have a 1040 and I have a very big stage 2. So the case for entry in this case is very good because the 618 is residing right above this current high. And when I see something like this, I just get all warm inside because I have a lot of reasons to sell this pair if we get all the way up here. So I have already deployed my TNR robot inside of this trend line, so I don't have to be awake, I don't have to do anything on my MetaTrader account because this will take care of itself. And I'm using a 1040 entry on my other account because that is not a MetaTrader, so I can't use expert advisors. I only use limit orders. Targets, if we get a nice move to the downside, will be 138.80 I think this shelf looks very exposed, to be honest. So that's the case for entry. 1040 with a third touch of a trend line at a big 618. So this is a very good case for entry. This is the strongest technical setup, but this does not mean that the pair will do as I expect, but it tells me that I have to take that trade itself. Euro GBP, I'm playing the big parallel here, so I'm already short. I re-shorted this morning, or the Sunday evening, the gap up. I had a stage 2. I used this leg on its own. And as you can see, TradingView doesn't show that the market gapped as hard as it did, because my other account is CMC Markets, and the gap up on CMC Market was bigger in pre-market than the actual open on TradingView itself. I can show you how. This is CMC Markets, and the pair at the lower left corner is CMC Markets. You can see the same trend line right here, and you see that the market gapped up very hard. So I got filled on CMC, but I didn't get filled on MetaTrader. So that's it. It is what it is, but I'm targeting 0.84 even on this pair. I think that if we break here, that could, when we break here, I will look for another stage 2 sell, just to build a bigger position without taking on more risk on this trade, because I'm heavily bearish and I want to go all in, but I can't take the big position firsthand. I have to build it over time. So that's what I'm doing. Let's go to euro dollar. We have a gap up right here. The gap is not filled yet. We have this high here at 108.72. I have the TNR deployed already on this upper trend line, upper channel trend line. So the case for entry in this case is a 1040 with a 4 touch of the upper trend line. But the thing that concerns me with this pair is that this could be a breakaway gap, meaning that the market doesn't fill this gap for a very long time, and that will just lead me to a quick loss on this pair. Update on GBP AUD. I had a stage 2 buy order at this leg right here. So that range, as you see here, was my stage 2 buy. Since we now have broken and printed a higher high, I'm now actually updating my orders. So I'm using this current leg as my stage 2 order to buy this pair. Same goes for GBP USD. I used this leg for my stage 2, didn't get filled, moved it up here, didn't get filled. Now we are seeing the market explode even higher. So I'm now doing the exact same thing on GBP USD as I'm doing on GBP AUD. So that's the unfortunate thing with the stage 2. It has more management than the stage 1, the TNR, and the parallel itself, but it is what it is. So instead of us chasing the market, buying here, buying the top, and then have the market dump on us, I'm just moving my orders at the 618 for a stage 2 and then continue and target higher. Let's see. We also have a big potential trade on NZD Swiss. We have we have filled the channel itself. Trade plan now is if we break this lower channel trend line, I will deploy the TNR robot on this parallel, since the channel is now confirmed, and I never want to buy NZD Swiss, so I will never short the CHF on its own just because I don't trust the Swiss National Bank. Because if they pull the rug on traders, it will get ugly, and I'm not interested in going long on any pair with the CHF on the back as the cross currency. Let's see, dollar CAD, I'm short here from the retest of the trend line itself, looking for continuation lower. If we break lower, if you want, you can use this low itself, but this, if you use a stage 2, if you break this low, that's more speculative if you use the low right here. So a more conservative approach for a stage 2 targeting the 129.70 area is to wait for the market to see if it breaks the 132.63 levels, then start chasing the market with a stage 2 sell. The last pair, or the last instrument, is XAUD USD gold. We have a big trend line coming in right here. Let's just update this line. As you can see right here, we have this trend line coming in here. I'm not using the weekly trend line. I'm updating my charts using the daily trend line on its own. So you see here, we already have 3 touches of this trend line. So I'm now looking to sell this trend line itself. But my gut feeling tells me that price will hit, we will break, and then we will retest, and then we will explode, because I'm extremely bearish on the stock market, and I think investors now are looking at safe haven instruments. So, but regardless of my thoughts and gut feeling, I will short the upper trend line itself. I will just deploy the TNR. He will get me in the trade, and then I will manage the trade on its own. And if we break to the upside, I will redeploy the TNR and set it to buy, and then just try and hold and see if my gut feeling comes into fruition. So you never know. But that's my plan going forward. So all of these trades I'm looking to take, and I know that this is a big trend, big play on its own, but just focus on a few pairs. You guys have the TNR robot already. Start experimenting with it on a demo account. Set up a VPS so you don't have to have the computer on at all times. It helps a lot. So I will update you on the trades themselves, and until next time, I wish you good luck, good trading, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.